I remember the day I left home like it was burned into my soul. My family's voices still echo in my mind, loud, mocking, relentless. "You're wasting your time," my father said, shaking his head. "Desert plants. Oh, that's a fool's errand. You're going to fail, just like everyone says. You're an embarrassment to this family." My mother's eyes welled with tears, not of pride, but of shame, like I was deliberately choosing to be the punchline of some cruel joke. And my siblings, they just laughed, sneering at the idea of barren wastelands turning into energy farms. I was a fool to believe I could change their minds, but I had no choice. I had to prove them wrong. I had to prove myself right. The journey was brutal. I abandoned the comfort of a predictable life, the safety of their ridicule, and plunged into the harshest desert I could find, an endless sea of sand and scorching sun. Every day was a battle, against dehydration, against despair, against the relentless doubt gnawing inside me. But I was relentless. I studied desert flora, deciphered their secrets, and experimented with bioengineering. I knew the old world mocked me, called my pursuit absurd, but I refused to listen. Years passed. My research blossomed into something extraordinary, a way to harness the resilient power of desert plants to generate renewable bioenergy. It was revolutionary. I built solar-powered stations, cultivated ecosystems from scratch, and turned barren sands into thriving green corridors. The skeptics, the family who once dismissed me, never saw it coming. And then I made it. I achieved what they said was impossible. My work transformed entire regions, desertified lands now teeming with life, communities thriving off the energy I'd unlocked. I became a pioneer, a symbol of resilience and hope. I'd proven that even the most hopeless landscapes could be reborn, that even the most ridiculed dreams could reshape the world. But I knew there was only one thing left: confrontation. I returned home after years of global success, the symbol of a revolution in sustainable energy. My family greeted me with a mixture of pride and disbelief, but I could see the lingering doubt in their eyes. They still saw the fool they had mocked all those years ago. That night, I invited them to see what I had built. I led them to a sprawling demonstration site, an oasis in the middle of the desert, now lush and vibrant, humming with activity. Solar panels shimmered in the sun, and the air was filled with the scent of blooming desert flowers. The transformation was staggering. As they stood there, speechless, I felt a surge of emotion, bitterness, yes, but also a deep cathartic sense of justice. "Look at this," I said softly, voice trembling with a mix of pride and pain. "This is what your doubt almost destroyed. This is what I fought so hard for. I didn't do it for fame or money. I did it because I believed in something bigger than all of us. I believed that even a desert could give life, that even the most impossible dreams can come true." Their faces shifted as they realized, their words and laughter, their dismissiveness. They had been wrong, dead wrong. My father looked away, ashamed. My mother's eyes welled again, but this time there was a different emotion. Regret, perhaps, or a dawning understanding of what I'd achieved. My siblings were silent, faces pale, but eyes wide with awe. And in that moment, I understood something profound. the power of perseverance, of unwavering belief in your purpose. They had tried to bury my dream, to label it ridiculous, but I'd grown it from the dirt they thought was worthless. I turned their mockery into a lesson, one they couldn't deny. I turned to them and said, "You told me I was an embarrassment, that I'd fail. But I want you to see what failure looks like when you refuse to give up." I hope you learn something from this, that the world isn't shaped by mockery or doubts, but by those willing to stand firm and believe in what others dismiss as impossible. I stepped back, watching their faces as realization settled in. I didn't need their applause. I had already won the battle within myself. I had become what I always knew I could be, a creator of hope, a harbinger of change. And as I looked at the thriving landscape I'd built, I felt a quiet, powerful truth settle deep inside. That the greatest triumph isn't just in changing the world, but in transforming the doubts of others into the proof of your own worth. Because in the end, the greatest victory is not over the world, but over the voice inside that once told me I couldn't. And I knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that I'd finally silenced that voice forever. That's the real lesson. No matter how impossible it seems, no matter how fierce the mockery, if you hold on to your vision, if you fight for it with every ounce of your soul, you will not just survive, you will triumph. And the world will have to face what it once dismissed as a ridiculous dream. Because sometimes the most barren wastes, whether they're landscapes or doubts, are just the beginning of something extraordinary.